I assume you've seen the finished film.
Yeah.
Lovely. Good. It's the effects were amazing, and the sound editing. When you're clunking around, that was just awesome.
Yeah. It's. I saw it in a screen. I saw it in a small screening room in New York. So I'm looking forward to seeing it on a.
Yeah, you have to see it in a big.
Yeah, looking forward to seeing it on a big screen.
Was excellent. Really good stuff. Yes, they're fixing stuff. Yeah, this has got to have just been fun for you. Being in a big picture like this.
Yeah, it is.
Columbia is such a class act, and there's so many people. On our end, I'm sure they are on your end too, but it's a nice group of people to deal with. Yeah, Steve Oldfield, Fox, Orlando. And then this also goes up to a feed to other people. So, why I think these movies work so well is that not only are the effects, gee whiz, wow, isn't that cool, it all comes down to a good story with good characters.
Yeah, and I think that's really the secret of any good movie. You know, ultimately, it's making a film is just another way of telling a good story, and it's what makes Sam Raimi such a wonderful director. That apart from other things, of course, is his great sensibility for telling a good story, and not being afraid of complexity, and not being afraid of letting things be a little ambiguous.
Sure.
And so you don't have this sort of rather strict and sort of unerring diet of just like special effect after special effect linked with a little bit of cursory dialogue just to get you from one part of the city to the other.
Yeah.
There are real stories, real conflicts going on, and in the midst of all this special effect genius, this visuals, there are scenes where people start talking almost philosophically about things, and it just gives, I think it just enables the audience to have a much richer experience.
Definitely. And it has to be fun for you because you're quite the actor and you've taken on some meaty roles, so to not just be the mustache twisting villain.
Exactly. Yeah.
To have some, we can feel your pain. We know why you are. So
that's good.
Tell us how, I hate to kind of go behind the curtain, so to speak, like in Wizard of Oz, and see how the effects are made. But what can you tell us about how that actually was for you day to day? Where it appeared you had these things coming out of your body. What was it really like? How did it work?
When we had the tentacles actually attached, the full weight of them was probably about 50 or 60 pounds. But I never had to carry that weight on my own. It was all, I was helped a lot. And usually the tentacles were real for the close-ups and the medium shots. But the kind of big wide shots, climbing up buildings and stuff like that was, that was mainly kind of computer-generated imagery and animation. So there was a very sophisticated combination of all those different things. But when we were working with the tentacles actually in place in the scene, it was actually very interesting because they were being manipulated by puppeteers who themselves are performers. So they were able to kind of give these puppets real life, a real sense of being an organic part of me.
So it wasn't too difficult to act then, I bet.
Oh no! In fact, it was great fun to act with them. Actually, it was like having other characters in the scene. It wasn't a problem at all. It was wonderful.
Tell us, what is it about this story too that kids are going to go and they're going to think that's cool? But they can also take something away from it, and I don't want it to be too heavy, kind of learn something, but they can kind of, there are some lessons to be learned here too as well.
Yeah, I guess so. I'm not quite sure what they are. I think that always depends on the individual person watching the movie. But I think there's, it's not the nice. What I like about the Spider-Man movies is that they're actually very honest in terms of storytelling. They're not, the hero is reluctant. He's a reluctant hero. He has all the sort of problems that a lot of people have. He's late for work sometimes. He doesn't quite get it's everything done. He has a confused love life. There's all kinds of things. The villain is also in a sense reluctant. He starts off as a pretty decent guy, and so there are lots of human qualities there. So if young kids walk away with a better understanding of that, then that's great. But even if they just go away saying, hey, when that train crashed into that building, that was really cool, then that's fine too.
And finally, I'm sure you had a lot of aspirations when you went into this business. Did you ever think you'd have your own action figure?
No, that was not on my list of priorities. But it's very nice to have one, even though it looks nothing like me. It was nice. I mean, it's got my nose and my eyes, I think, but I've never had a chest that good.
He's been to the gym a little longer, I might say.
My chest was never that good.
That's because you're not that vain and you took your time.
No, I would love to have a chest like that, but I've never had a chest like that.
Be proud.
Thank you.
Good performance.
Thank you.
Yeah.